I just forgot my glasses. With the glare.
Okay, welcome. Thank you everyone for joining us. We are getting started right here. Let's make sure everyone's catching our stream right now.
Hope everybody's having a good time. Nice weekend. Nice long weekend for certain people.
Okay, excellent. So, wanted to have everyone, welcome everyone today. We're going over a few things for Veterans Day. I know Veterans Day is tomorrow, but there's a lot of things that are available to RV as well as every other veteran. But when we think about Veterans Day and what deals are out there, first thing that comes to mind is the free meals,
Yes,
some discounts,
extra discounts.
But we know there's a lot of people in the RV community that are actually veterans or family members or military. So I wanted to go over a few things of what I've found out there, specifically for veterans, that deals with camping and RVing, as well as talk about a few things that we've done on Veterans Day since we've started camping as well. So,
yes.
So the first thing is you can't talk about camping or RV without talking about campgrounds. So one thing that a lot of people may not realize is Army MWR, which is Morale, Welfare, and Recreation, for those of you that aren't aware, is open to certain veterans. It's not just military. So not only do you have the active duty military, but you also have available to active reserve, guard members, DoD civilians, retirees. And then when it comes to veterans, people are out. If you're a Purple Heart awardee, you are a former POW, or if you're service-connected disability, you can also use MWR's campgrounds. I never knew that before.
Huh. Cool.
So there's a lot of people that have some level of service connected. It's not 100%. Like there are some advantages out there. And I wouldn't say advantages, but some other things you can take advantage of if you're 100% disabled. But for that, it's just anyone that's service disabled can connect it. Now, with that, MWR has more than just campgrounds. A lot of people don't realize that most bases do have campgrounds. Some of them will be just tent camping, but some of them actually have RV hookups too on there. So check into that. They don't do as much online. There is a website that I'll link up on the description when we're done, that actually you can go to and click on the state and find the MWR in the different bases in each state. But you do want to call them directly and see what type of requirements they have. Some places are really rustic and it's only tent camping, but there are a lot of places that have RV hookup and stuff as well. So,
and you're not just sleeping in a GP tent.
Yeah. And a lot of them, if they're on base or off base, if they're on base, you do have access issue that you got to go through visitor center first, but you'll have other access to facilities like the commissary, PX, other MWR stuff as well. So check in. And also, if you're not near an Army base or you're one of the others, the other services have their version of MWR as well.
Oh, yes.
So you got Marine Corps, Air Force, whatever on that. And then there's private parks that you go to, which are a lot of what most of us hit. Some people do state parks, some people do these private parks, which are basically privately owned. Always call and check. A lot of them do military or veteran discounts. We ran into a few of those when we were on the road on there. Some that come off the top of my head, Sun Outdoors is all across country. We stayed at the one at Myrtle Beach. They offer a 20% discount to veterans and military.
And that's a really nice location.
That's a nice one.
Yes.
Pigeon Forge Landing, which we've been to several times. We were just there this year.
Yes.
And that one we love. They do a discount too, which is roughly about 20%. KOA, a lot of people do KOA. It depends on the location, but most of them are about 10% off on there. Thousand Trails and Encore, those are membership type campgrounds, but you can also go online and just book individually if you're not part of the membership.
I just want to apologize. Our cat is outside the door and he's not happy that we're in here and he's out there. So yeah, we apologize for the.
Yeah, he doesn't get he's not camera trained yet, so on there. But maybe future videos will have them on there. But yeah, so there's Thousand Trails and Encore locations. Like I said, those are membership, but you can go to a place like rvonthego.com. They do have a code if you do that. It's called Military 20, and that'll give you 20% off as well for up to 6 nights. Nice. Now, national parks, a lot of people don't think about. A lot of us use national parks out there. You have state and national parks. National parks for a few years has had a deal for military and veterans. If you're active military, it's called the free military annual pass. And veterans, you can give free military lifetime pass. What that does is for National Park Service and Fish and Wildlife, they waive the entrance fee. So you don't pay a fee, at least for interest. A lot of these parks, you have interest fee. You don't have to pay that on there.
Yeah, I think we ran into one of those when we were in Alabama.
Yeah. And for those of you that like to do the National Park Service, for people on Veterans Day, so tomorrow, anyone that's going on whether you're camping or using just the services of the park, they're waiving all fees for everyone for Veterans Day tomorrow. So if you're near a national park and you just want to go hike or whatever, they're doing that. So that's a great deal as well.
Oh, yes, it is. Most definitely.
You also have day use fees available at the Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, which we commonly refer to as BLM, on there, and then Bureau of Reclamation and the Corps of Engineers. Corps of Engineers has a lot of parks as well. So for veterans, you can get the daily use fee waived. You'd have to check with what they have for like camping, but for just going in for the day, you have that stuff too. And then state parks, check with your different state parks, but a lot of them have discounts. There is a website called U.S. Veteran Camper, I found, that was actually created by a disabled veteran Marine. And he has a list of all these different state parks across the country and what type of veteran deals they have and stuff on there. So I know a lot of us, we don't really get into the national parks that much on the East Coast. I know that's BLM's more of a West Coast thing, but state parks are very popular in the community on there. So also with that, Missouri State Park campgrounds. So any of the state campgrounds in Missouri, they have a promotion going on where if part of your stay is over tomorrow, which is Veterans Day, you can have a promotional code to get a free night on there. So if you're doing 3 nights, you're going to pay for 2 on there, as long as one of the nights is tomorrow, which is Veterans Day. So, so go ahead and check that out. Definitely. Now, one of the things we've done the past few years too on Veterans Day is we're in Virginia, so a place we like to go is Colonial Williamsburg.
Oh yes, I love that place. I mean, it's so huge. There's so much to see, and I don't even think that we've ever hit the whole thing. No. We haven't even made it. I don't even think we've even made it to Yorktown.
No, I don't think we've hit everything in actually Colonial Williamsburg itself. Yeah, the actual historic site. We've gotten there. We've done the tours. They have a great ghost tour at night.
Oh yes,
if you're interested, they have 2 that goes. One's more family friendly, and the other is adults only.
I think they got rid of the. I think they got rid of it. I think it's just 1 tour.
Oh, it's just 1 now.
I think it's just 1. They used to have 2.
Yeah, they used to have 2. Because
one was family friendly.
Some of it was it wasn't inappropriate. It was just one was a little bit more scary, or adult type thing. But it's a wonderful time down there. They actually have special activities they do for veterans, and on Veterans Day weekend they have going on. One thing they do is from last Friday the 8th through the 11th, is free admission for veterans. And one of the things that we found too, and normally, even if you don't get down there this weekend, they always have 25% off for veterans down there.
Yeah,
so,
which is nice.
Yeah. But if you can get there for free this weekend, that's great. One thing they have too, they also have a little welcome lounge type thing within the place that's for military veterans. They got coffee and snacks and stuff like that.
Coffee, some snacks, and depending on the time of season that you're there, since we go down there usually during this time, it's always cold, and so it's really nice and warm in there. Mm-hmm. So you get hot coffee, hot chocolate, mm-hmm. Tea if that's your thing, and it's kind of nice. It's a little crowded once everybody gets in there, but it's kind of nice, and it's kind of nice to be around other veterans at the same time.
And when we go down, we always stay at one of the campgrounds around there. So you have a couple different, you have several campgrounds right near there. There's about 3 or 4. We even stayed at one that was a little further away because it had a lot of stuff for the pets on there. So there's a lot of different ones. Check to see if there's veteran discounts or stuff during the time. A lot of them are doing a lot for Veterans Day there. Along with that, Mount Vernon, if you're up here in the northern area of Virginia, they have free admission for active duty and former and retired military. That doesn't necessarily extend to the family members at Mount Vernon, but the actual military or veteran member can get free admission today. And they also have a lot of different museums and locations are offering admission as well. Now, one thing, getting back to Williamsburg, that free entry, I have to double check, but I think that might also include dependent on there. So like if your member is deployed, for example, as a military member, the family can take advantage this weekend as well at Williamsburg.
But you have to have
you have to have an ID.
You got to have your ID. So that's the key. You got to have your ID.
You have to have an ID, or if you're a veteran, have some other thing that shows your service, like your 214, something like that.
Yeah.
On there. So. Some of the other museums, there's a whole bunch of them across the country. Some that I've seen that I like. I have a Harley Davidson. I know a lot of people in the community that have that. The Harley Davidson Museum, if you haven't been yet, we haven't yet. But for Veterans Day, they have free admission and free meal. They have a little cafeteria thing in there, like a lot of museums do.
Cool. Where's that at? Where's that located?
That is up north. I have to look it up. I think it's Ohio. It's either Ohio or Pennsylvania. I think it's Ohio, but I'll double check. If anybody, you know, put it in the comments.
I can say, if you know, put it in. Please comment and tell us where it's at.
Yeah. I know it's not real close to where we're at, or we would have went already.
Oh yeah.
I think it's northern Midwest area on there. Also, there's different manufacturers and dealerships offer military discount for RV. So if you're purchasing or renting on there, they do also include typically, immediate dependents, show your ID or 214. One thing that Airstream is doing, depending on the model, is they're giving a rebate of $250 to $750 off. And they actually have backdated that. If you bought one and you forgot to bring that up, hey, I'm military, there's a website where you can verify your military. And if you bought anytime between now all the way back to August 2018, they'll give you that rebate still. So if you're on here with Airstream and you're a veteran or military, check it out.
Check it out. Check it out.
Maybe not be a lot of cash, but any cash in your pocket is good, especially if you're going to be hitting the road. So
yeah.
I know we would be of this past couple months that we were on the road. If we had extra $750 in our pocket, that would be great.
Yeah, most definitely.
Rentals, there's several different rental companies. A lot of these the two that I'm going to talk about are these peer-to-peer, where owner is renting their RV out. We've talked about doing that with ours at some point. One of them is called RV Share. Some owners, will offer up to 25% off. The good thing about that site is if any of them are offering percent off for veterans, there's a list in the website of members who are offering military discount. So you can search by who does military discount on there.
Huh.
So that's nice. And then another one is Go Camp. That's also peer-to-peer. Theirs is done through, they manage everything through the website. So you don't have to search for an individual. You just put in the code when you check out, and they'll automatically take 15% off for military on there. So,
hey, every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Now, we all need camping supplies over the time. Camping World, I know some people love them, some people don't, but they're offering 5% military discount on there. And that's on top of, if you have a Good Sam membership that gives you discount, the military's on top of that.
Okay.
There. And then Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's are two big superstore for campings on there. They have up to 25% off for the Veterans Day event. They do a normal veteran discount, but for Veterans Day, they're doing up to 25 off. So,
yeah, it's a shame. The closest one to us is down in Ashburn.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a drive for us, but we've got some good deals on there. We're lucky we don't have a Shields around us because we would drop some money there.
Oh my goodness.
We dropped in at Shields. That's a Midwestern place. And while we were out in Oklahoma, Kansas City area, we dropped in one of those. And oh my God.
Evil.
I don't know about you, but in my opinion, the best way I can, if you've never been to a Shields, the best way I can describe it is it's like the Buc-ee's of camping stores.
It's Buc-ee's, it's Camping World.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just, there's so much.
Camping World, nothing against Camping World if you're listening, but Camping World's small compared to Shields.
Shields.
Well, Bass Pro Shop is small compared to a Shields.
Shields even has where you can duck pin bowl. They've got 2 lanes that you can duck pin, or at least the location that we were at, there were duck pin bowls, and you can even play, a little basketball. They had a little basketball hoop that you could.
We had the kids and grandbabies come camp with us for a while in Kansas, and we had to get some collapsible boxes and stuff like that, crates to put some stuff in so we can make some room. And they had all types of stuff. I mean, that you could use: furniture,
home goods, camping,
hunting gear,
rifles. I mean, just anything and everything.
So I'm not sure if they're doing something for Veterans Day. I'm sure they probably are, but double check. I just haven't mentioned when we were looking at the Bass Pro Shop stuff.
Yeah. And they're not paying for us.
Yeah, no. Although if you'd like to, if you're listening, Shields, we're more than happy to do a promo, but we're not. Place to do repairs and detailing. A lot of these are small companies, and often a lot of them do offer military discount.
Yeah.
So like your mobile RV tech or detailing type stuff. There are a lot of amusement parks do stuff for veterans. So if you're out in one of these areas that have one of these amusement parks, check in with them. Busch Gardens this year, they've in the past they have a number of different parks under Busch Gardens. So you have SeaWorld and some of the water parks, stuff like that, are also under the whole Busch Gardens world, if you will. And for several years, the past few years, they've done what they call their Waves of Honor, which is where a military member can get in for free. Where we did that back when you were in the service.
At
the water park.
Yeah, I remember that now.
They actually have announced something this year through the end of the year. So through the end of December, they're extending that to veterans also.
Sweet.
So they're doing veterans and active duty. Go on their website. They have options for that. Also, in addition to that, when you have that, you can get additional tickets at a discount. So if you have other friends or family coming with type thing on there.
Nice.
In Florida, Legoland has free admission. And I think that's in the Carolinas is a Creation Museum. Maybe it's Georgia. Somewhere down south here. But Creation Museum, which is the Ark Encounter, they're having free admission. Kennedy Space Center in Texas, Houston, you have Kennedy in Houston, you have in Florida.
Yeah,
so,
Cape Canaveral.
So the one in Houston's giving free admission also.
If you haven't had an opportunity to go to the Kennedy Center, I highly recommend it.
We haven't done Texas yet. We've done the one in Florida, the actual launch center.
Yeah.
And that's unbelievable on there. Six Flags for Veterans Day is doing a free admission for military and veterans at all of their locations across the country.
Cool.
So these are our camping. I know a lot of times when we go camp, we do the same thing. We'll go and check out what's in the local area of where we're camping.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be a lot of y'all that are camping near some of these parks and stuff like that too.
Oh, yeah. And it's amazing how all the little hidden gems that you can find when you're camping, especially when you go to these small little towns and stuff like that.
Yep. Now, I did come across this. This is kind of interesting. A nonprofit organization, they have a membership you got to do, but a place called Special Military Active Recreation Travelers, or SMART RVing. Their mission is to bring military veterans and family together for travel, camping, and other support. So they do activities and stuff, but specifically for people that are traveling or campgrounds or stuff like that. They'll bring veterans and stuff together and do potluck or some activities or stuff like that.
Nice.
If you want to check into the local. They have chapters all across the country for full-timers, golfers, people like to travel, they said. They have married groups, single groups. If you own motorhome, travel trailer, pop-up, any of those. Some of them they talked about is they have socializing, potlucks, as I mentioned, weekend camp outs. So they may have something local to your chapter of, oh, we're going, an hour down the road for the weekend, 10 of us or something like that. Because it's always fun to camp with other people.
Oh, yeah.
There. Or they also do other activities. They got people that they organize stuff to volunteer in the veterans homes or hospitals too, the VA hospitals and stuff. Now they do have one thing in there which I saw, which is kind of interesting, called RV caravans across America, and that's actually guided RV tours. So let's say you have a bunch of people that want to go to Sturgis. They may get a bunch of people for RV, and you'll actually have people that will go there and have kind of a guide for the trip or something like that too. So you can involve as much as you want. Someone they talked about on their website for that is Alaska, New England. They've done the Southwest. So they do a lot of those things, but they have people who are familiar with those areas and done travel, and they'll get together a caravan, which I call RV caravan, of RVers that will travel and camp together in a particular area, like Alaska or something like that. So I
don't see us making it all the way to
Alaska. Not to Alaska. We might do Southwest at some point. So those are some of the big things for RVers. There's other things that are typical Veteran Day discounts. One I would bring up is Travel Centers of America, which is your truck stop thing. They're offering free meal for veterans on Veterans Day.
Huh.
So if you're traveling in your RV, stop in. A couple of them that we've done, of course, is Chili's,
Applebee's, Olive Garden. Of course, there's limited menu.
Yeah, all of them are limited menu if they're free. Now, there's a whole list of them that will do some type of discount, like a percentage off. Some of the other ones there, I know, like Outback does like Blooming Onion, free item. They've upped it this year to Blooming Onion and a soda as well. In-N-Out Burger, that's a West Coast thing. We haven't been, but I've heard a lot of people talk about that. They're doing a free burger or something on there, or a free thing. Mission Barbecue really supports veterans.
Oh, yes.
On there. So they're doing a free sandwich on there. And then one of your favorite places,
Starbucks.
Yeah. Starbucks has a tall, hot or cold iced coffee for veterans, active duty, and their spouses. So we're both military, by the way, but if one of us wasn't, we could still both get one because the member and their spouse. So Texas Roadhouse, we've done that before as well. They do a free menu as well. They're doing something a little different because they've gotten so jam-packed on Veterans Day, what they'll do is from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., you can go in and get a voucher. You either have your meal right then, or you can get a voucher that you can use anytime from now through May 2025.
Huh.
So if you don't get a chance to get in there because they're all packed and stuff like that, ask for a voucher and you can come back on there and still get your free meal for that.
Oh, yes. A lot of places are. There was, I remember one year we went to Applebee's and they were so busy that they asked us if we didn't mind sharing a table, which we didn't, just so that we could get in a little bit quicker instead of, the hour and 45 minutes. I think we only had to wait like an hour to get in, and we shared a table.
And that actually was great because the two gentlemen we shared with were from a different era. They were in a different wartime than we were.
Yeah.
So kind of be able to talk, get different war stories, if you will, type thing. But Golden Corral's only 5 p.m. till close. Logan's is 11 to 3. So some of these have limited hours, so check in if you're going to do that. If you need to get your donut in the morning, both Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme are doing a free donut. So if that's your breakfast. One I don't have on here, Bob Evans is a classic one that does all the time. Free meal as well.
They're hard to get into.
They are kind of hard. Yeah.
They're hard to get into.
They're very popular.
Yeah.
With that. Denny's, I think, is doing what they call their red, white, and blue pancake thing or whatever. So some of these are limited menus, some are specific things. Go on and check. I'll put a link in the comments when we're done here of this list of discounts. But there's different ones. You got, like I said, Denny's, IHOP, stuff like that. I don't know which one was doing the pancake, whether it was IHOP or Denny's, but one of the two. Both of them were doing something on there.
Yeah, usually Denny's usually does their Grand Slam.
Okay, so that was probably the Denny's. So it must have been IHOP.
Yeah, Denny's usually does their Grand Slam.
There's a lot of companies out there for your vehicle, car washes. There's a place called Grace for Vets online that does a list of different local car washes. They're doing a free car wash for your people. I know Jiffy Lube does free oil change. If that's your time, we already had to get ours a little earlier, but I've done that previous years on there. Haircut, there's a couple places, Sports Clips. I think one of the others, I'm not sure if Haircuttery does or not, but I know Sports Clips is one of them that will do like a free haircut for veterans type thing. Clothing, Macy's has a Veterans Day special sale for veterans. So it's not just like your normal retail where they just have a sale for Memorial Day or something. This is a special discount. If you're a veteran, you can get a special discount above their normal.
Did you see anything on JCPenney's?
I did not, but we could look and see.
Check out JCPenney's. I think JCPenney's does something for Veterans Day. I think that's the only time they do their discounts.
Online, there's a place called Devil Dog Dungarees. They do a lot of pants and stuff. They normally do a discount. They're upping their discount for Veterans Day to 50% off of that. So if you're into the outdoor stuff where you need the, clothes aren't going to rip easy, stuff like that, doing a lot of outdoor type of work activities, that tends to be what they do from what I saw on there. So wedding dresses. Brides out there. I've seen this before. It wasn't when we were doing, but Brides Across America does free dresses. They do in July and November for military. So you do have to pre-register online, but they will do a certain number of them. I think, I don't know how it works because we didn't do it, but there's a certain number. I don't know if they do by lottery or something like that, but they do have a certain amount that they give free wedding dress to military brides on there.
Missed opportunity.
We've been doing that for a few years, yeah. And then the last one we're talking about here is really good. Now, this is Homes for Our Troops. They're doing a celebrity auction. It's not dealing with the home itself. You aren't bidding on a home, okay? What they're doing is on eBay from November 11th, so it starts tomorrow through the 24th. They're doing auction of celebrity items. So it might be pictures autographed by a celebrity. Could be some are doing Skillshare stuff. So they got like some actors and stuff that will actually do a couple hours working with someone online directly, work on acting or music or stuff like that. Actual celebrities are doing some of this stuff too. But all the proceeds during this goes towards their mission, which their mission is to build and donate specially adapted custom homes for severely injured. So post 9/11 veterans that have been severely injured, they build homes that have been adapted for those war injuries and stuff. You don't have to have been injured specifically for war, but I'm not sure the whole thing, but you can look at. But it is a bidding on eBay. There's in-person and Zoom experiences. Like I said, there's luxury items. You get memorabilia, autographed memorabilia from movie stars, musicians, sports figures. I think George Clooney and some other people were named as running this thing or the event or whatever. So check that out. That doesn't start till tomorrow. But if you're interested in that, it's on eBay. Look up Homes for Our Troops Celebrity Auction on there. And some other stuff that helps our troops too. With that, those of you that are out there, enjoy your Veterans Day too. Keep in mind those that are still recovering from the hurricanes down south. We did an episode a couple weeks ago after Helena went through of all the resources. A lot of these parks are starting to open back up. Check ahead of time. Not all of them are in great shape, but if they are in good shape, think about camping there, because they've lost a lot of not just damage that they've had to recover, but lost revenue.
Yeah.
And some of these parks may not make it to next year if they don't get some help. So if you're looking to go out, think about some of these areas, check to make sure that your routes are okay.
Yeah, I something popped up on my feed in the last day or so that parts of I-40 has opened up. So make sure that you're checking the routes of where you're supposed to be going. I don't know how accurate that is, but I would most definitely make sure that you're checking your routes. Yeah,
definitely. But if you can, you visit some of them in Tennessee, Kentucky, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, all those areas that were impacted. If you can get there, call them up to make sure, because some we're trying to get stuff cleaned up still and going. But if they are able to receive people, it would mean the world to them.
Yes.
To be able to actually, receive you and show their Southern hospitality for you.
So as soon as we win that lottery, we'll be hitting the road.
Definitely. So ours is going in the shop at the moment. So otherwise we'd be down in Williamsburg again this year, probably.
Yeah, probably.
There, so
yeah, that's going down to Williamsburg is our go-to
annual thing. Yeah,
is our go-to. I'll tell you one thing. I love the ghost tours. The ghost tours are so much fun. They really are. Cold, but it's a lot of fun.
To do Yorktown
somehow. We got to figure out how to get to Yorktown.
Yeah, definitely. So for all of y'all out there, have a wonderful Veterans Day tomorrow. Hopefully you saw some things here that would be very helpful to you. And for Daniela
and Brian
and Maggie and Jackson, the camping pups, happy camping with the pups.